Students air their grievances to the Student Senate in a town hall meeting to address the financial issues facing the university.
And Martin Luther King Jr. Day has come and gone, and the University of Northern Colorado played a role in Greeley's celebration.
All that and more to come. This is Bear News.
Hello and welcome back to Bear News for our first show of the new year. My name is Tanner Schwint.
And I'm Zoe Campbell. The Campus Commons finally opens its doors and welcomes the UNC community. Construction is still underway, but it's already serving as a new hangout for students and a gateway for the campus. Only a portion of the building is accessible, including the admissions and visitor center, the Pie Cafe, the ticketing office, and an art gallery, which features a display by artist Jessica Forrestal. The registrar, bursar, and financial aid offices moved to the Commons during spring break in March. Construction is expected to wrap up by the end of March with the completion of the performance hall. President Andy Feinstein scheduled an investiture ceremony on April 12th to celebrate the opening of the new building. Make sure to stop by to watch the progress as the building is completed over the semester.
With the Campus Commons getting closer to fully functioning status, the university is looking for ways to manage its budget, and it's looking to staff members to help decide. UNC President Andrew Feinstein now has a better idea about how to combat the university's $10 million deficit. Feinstein hosted an open forum on January 14th, after the President's Leadership Council identified 13 possible cost-saving options. Armed with easels of paper and markers, UNC faculty and staff participated in roundtable discussions evaluating each option. The Leadership Council made several recommendations after considering the overall impacts on the university. These include investigating an early faculty retirement program and focusing at the college level for setting cost-saving goals, changing insurance benefits, eliminating low-return contracts, and reducing conference travel. If you couldn't get to the open forum, a finalized report of the UNC's community's feedback is available on the President's website. Been on campus recently? If so, you might have noticed a foreign course shell on your screen. Then again, maybe you haven't. So why some students and not others? The shell is the FERPA training course. FERPA stands for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. The shell has informational modules and even quizzes you can take to test your knowledge. Now, for those who don't have this shell, don't feel too left out. The course is only for students who have or are employed at UNC Registrar's office. Uses Canvas to easily train UNC employees. This method is experimental. The office wants to use Canvas to train lots of students quickly. At the moment, the training module is optional, but the Registrar's office plans to make the training mandatory for all UNC employees.
A lot of students have strong opinions about how Student Senate works. As Bear News reporter Amy Golden tells us, students voiced their concerns at a town hall hosted by Student Senate last week.
The University of Northern Colorado finds itself in a difficult spot with a $10 million deficit, disconnect from students, and a changing landscape at the school. Students voiced their concerns about these issues and others to the Student Senate last Wednesday. Many students, especially first-generation students and students of color, said they felt there was not enough access to Student Senate or a way to make their voices heard. The Senate listened to those issues and more and encouraged students to reach out. The student body president explained, among other topics, what he understood about the budget deficit to students.
The way that we've basically come to, right, is we are spending more money than we are intaking, right? We are spending more than, even if you want to give a projected $100 million, right, to keep the university running institutionally. That's with faculty pay, that's with retirement funds, that's with health benefits, that's with all these operating factors. And so we've had to dip into our cash reserves.
The proposed budget solutions will be finalized March 8th. Other topics discussed included the provost search, which has been narrowed down to 3 candidates, and the reconstruction of the liberal art class structure at UNC, which may reduce the overall number of classes required to graduate in coming years.
I remember that, oh, there's budget stuff happening, and I don't know what's going on with multicultural students.
For Bear News, I'm Amy Golden.
Student Senate encourages students wanting to voice their concerns to attend their meetings. Those happen at 5:30 p.m. every other Wednesday. For many of us, this year started out with a bang, bringing new resolutions, goals, and insights. Michaela Lander is live in the studio to tell us how such visions within our government are at a standstill.
That's right, Zoe. We're only 29 days into 2019, and we've already made history. The longest partial government shutdown is now on hold. President Trump negotiated with Democratic leaders and signed a bill last Friday, reopening the government for 3 weeks to resume normal operations. During the shutdown, about 800,000 employees were left furloughed. But what does this mean exactly for UNC students? Well, the IRS was one of those furloughed agencies, and students expressed concerns over their FAFSA applications. The IRS can now resume reviewing FAFSA documentation, and UNC Bears can breathe a sigh of relief. UNC Financial Aid Director Marvin Somero says students starting or returning in fall's FAFSA application will only be affected if the shutdown lasts into March. Back to you.
The 35-day shutdown was the longest on record. Congress approved measures which conditionally ends the shutdown until February 15th.
The new campus commons may be set up more for faculty facilities than students, but there is one specific section that gets a lot of attention.
But first, Martin Luther King Jr. is regarded as a true American hero, and the city of Greeley honored his life and accomplishment this weekend. Stay tuned after this break for more.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control.
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
With National African American History Month just around the corner, what better way to welcome the awareness than with a march? Bear News reporter Renee Ortiz went to watch the march and talk to participants.
The Unity Begins With You celebration started off with the Martin Luther King Jr. March. Students, staff, and residents of Greeley bundled up around the UC before starting the march down 10th Avenue. Several of the participants made signs portraying themes of unity and equity.
I think the main takeaway most people should get from this whole event is community and unity. I think that was Martin Luther King's message, is coming together to, fight for change and fight for equality and do it in a peaceful manner. And I think that is what our yearly parades are about, is peaceful protesting and the community coming together.
Even when the weather took a turn for the worse, the participants walked together, glove in glove. The march ended at the UCCC, where a presentation for Unity Begins With You began. The presentation included a special rendition of the national anthem, a brief history of Dr. King's life, a musical performance, and a reading of Dr. King's last speech. Reporting from the Union Colony Civic Center, Renee Ortiz, Bear News.
Bear News will continue to follow African American History Month events, so be sure to watch us each week. In the mood for a piece of pie? Well, you're in luck. You can get pie and more at the Pie Cafe inside the campus commons. Student manager Cheyenne Steer says the cafe makes the pies from scratch daily and serves both sweet and savory pies.
So here at Pie Cafe, during the day we're selling various pies. So in the mornings we'll have like cobblers, we have various quiches, various pies, and then around lunchtime we switch them to more meat quiches, more lunch type food. We do the pies, we do coffee, beverages, a variety of stuff.
The cafe also serves a variety of coffee drinks. The menu includes vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free options, so there's sure to be a slice for everyone. The cafe is open 7:30 to 7 Monday through Thursday and 7:30 to 3 on Fridays.
As students are getting back into the swing of classes, a little welcome back fun is what everyone needs. And a little fun came in the form of a spring mixer. The Graduate Student Association puts on this mixer every fall and spring to welcome the new grad students. So they invited students from all programs for a night of fun. Students and GSA staff met up at Tower 56 Distillery for a night of food, drinks, and conversation. While students got acquainted with one another, the Jack Robin Trio Band played smooth jazz so they could jam out. GSA Director David Shimakawa said this event is beneficial for grad students.
The reason we run these events is because we want graduate students from different programs to meet each other and to network. We also like inviting a lot of our campus partners from different offices around UNC so that students can get a look at what different offices have to offer and get to know some of the names and faces that they interact with, usually through email. So it's great to have people in an actual physical location.
The GSA does more than just plan 2 socials a year. For more information, visit the Graduate Student Association page.
Michener Library's first exhibit of the new year is packed with color and emotion. Greeley artist Armando Silva described his exhibit as an evolution of his work over the past 3 years. Fittingly titled Metamorphosis, Silva's works include canvas paintings, prints, and a mural that he painted inside Michener Library. At his art reception, Silva spoke about how he wanted to present his work.
Be a lot of feeling that has to be communicated with these pieces.
Silva advocated for open discussion and interpretation about his works, encouraging even dissenting opinions. Silva's works are on display in Mary Michener Art Gallery until February 8th.
Classes are in full swing here at UNC, but the break can continue with the help of Outdoor Pursuits. As Bear News reporter Sarah Methuselah tells us, they have something to help just about everybody take a break from the school routine.
Outdoor Pursuits is the on-campus program ready to help everyone get acquainted with their adventurous side. 10 day trips and 4 overnight trips are open to all UNC students, faculty, and staff. Ice climbing in January, a yurt trip in February, and a spring break trip to Moab, Utah in March are among the many opportunities provided by Outdoor Pursuits. Outdoor Pursuits also provides transportation, equipment, lift tickets, and more, dependent on the trip type. Assistant Director Whitney Dyer breaks down the varying upcoming trips and fees.
So the trips in the spring do range. We have anywhere from $15, which is our snowshoe hike next weekend, and then all the way to, I think $100 is the most for a day trip. So we have a wide range that's hopefully makes it accessible for anyone's checkbook.
Fees can be placed on a student bill, allowing for students to pay it off throughout the semester. But space per trip is limited, and Dyer explains why students should consider signing up.
It's really easy to just stay inside and do nothing, and then you wonder, what did I do the last 4 months? But there is so many opportunities to meet new people, so many opportunities for you as students to try something new and at a price that you can't get anywhere else.
For those not ready to commit to a trip, the gear shop inside Outdoor Pursuits is another resource to check out free equipment. Reporting from Outdoor Pursuits, I'm Sarah Methuselah, Bear News.
Thanks, Sarah. You'll find Outdoor Pursuits on the west side of Harrison Hall.
January is that trial month. You know the one, when everybody practices their New Year's resolutions. One of those includes drinking less alcohol. Dry January is a popular phenomenon calling for a month of sobriety. Abstaining from drinking for just 1 month can reap both short and long-term health benefits. Better skin, loss of weight, better sleep, and a fatter wallet are just minor impacts. Participating in the month-long stint also decreases alcohol consumption in later months. Now, they don't recommend dry January for people who struggle with alcoholism or might replace alcohol consumption with other unhealthy habits. And sometimes going dry for a month might lead to increased alcohol consumption once the month ends. Apps like Dry Days by AlcoChange help participants stay motivated and on track. Dry January isn't an easy New Year's resolution, but it might be something to look into.
Wild weather hit campus this weekend with blizzard warnings for the area. Stephanie has the weather you can look forward to next.
And UNC students tell us what they think during our question of the week after this.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Hi, welcome back. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Serena.
In case you missed it, last December, a group of UNC meteorology students went down to Denver 7 Channel News, got to meet Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson, and we also participated in a weather hotline where we got to help travelers during the holidays plan for their trip. It was a wonderful opportunity, and I was so glad I got to go, and I want to extend my thanks to meteorologist Mike Nelson for the great opportunity. Okay, taking a look at our current fronts right now. So we have a string of highs right over the Midwest, bringing in those much warmer, nicer conditions that we so need. But the East Coast, not as lucky though. They are still being hit with low after low, bringing in that snow and rain to the area and that localized flooding, unfortunately. On Wednesday morning though, still kind of the same conditions, those highs still set. But looking on to Thursday morning, we see a low pressure system start to come in from the California coast that might bring in some precipitation for us later on in the week. And then Wednesday morning for our commute, we are seeing a high of 44 degrees tomorrow with some partly cloudy skies. But at 8 a.m., you are going to want to be very bundled up going to class because it is going to be about 10 degrees. But further on in the day, we're going to get into the 40s at around 3 o'clock, which is going to be very nice. For our 7-day forecast, we see those partly cloudy conditions that I talked about, still very sunny, into the 50s even. But on Tuesday is when we start to see that slight chance of snow or rain that we saw from that low off of California. All right, and more on Bear News right after the break.
It's a new year, and UNC kicks it off by opening a brand new campus commons. Bear News reporter Courtney Lockie had a chance to visit the new building to ask students what they think.
After nearly 3 years of anticipation, the University of Northern Colorado has finally opened up the doors of its campus commons to UNC students and the public. Today, I'm asking students what they think of the new addition.
It was definitely worth the wait. It's a beautiful facility, beautiful building. It has a lot of space. It's going to offer a lot of different things to a lot of students, so I think it was worth the wait.
Definitely was.
I would say yes, it was.
It was. It's very beautiful in there. Lots of places to go. The pie shop's amazing.
It's just like a nice space where everybody can kind of come together. I know with the arts and visual arts department, it's kind of like been separated for like a lot of years. So now we have like the opportunity for everybody to just kind of come together and see like what we're doing in the arts department. So I'm just like really excited about that.
I do not think so. I think that there's a lot of unfulfilled potential that UNC just chose not to do. And as a graduating senior, I don't think all the money I had to put into it was worth it because I won't be able to use it. So. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been inside of it yet, but I definitely think it's worth the wait. I'm really excited about the pie shop inside.
Well, I think that being an Earth and Atmospheric Science major, I don't see a lot of use for me to get out of it personally. They added the Pie Cafe, which I think is good, but like I know that the UC used to have like a Taco Bell, and I think that maybe if they added more restaurants or things suited to students with more variety of majors, that it would be, but in my opinion, it was not worth it.
Reporting from the campus commons, I'm Courtney Lockie, Bear News.
Whether you think the campus commons was or wasn't worth the wait, it's here and available for all to enjoy now. Be sure to swing on by and check it out if you haven't already.
UNC's women's basketball team used defense to power them to snap a home losing streak.
And the Bears club hockey team might have some tired legs after they played 4 games in 4 days this weekend. But how did they fare in their matchups? Courtney Lockie has the answer coming up in sport.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. I'll teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're
men's basketball team is back on the winning track after a thrilling victory over the Idaho State Bengals. This win comes after the Bears lost their last 2 home games. The Bears defended the Den in great fashion as their defense was the highlight of the night. UNC tied their season-high mark for blocks with 6 for the game. Sophomore guard Alexis Chapman led the night with 3. The Bears' early offense gave them the lead after the first quarter, leaving the score 23-12. Savannah Smith started the night off strong with a 3-pointer that sent her to the free throw line, and the Bears kept the lead for most of the first half. But in the second half, things really got exciting. The Bengals' leading scorer, Sailor Grandin, proved to be an offensive threat, dropping 20 points. Her strong offense helped keep ISU within 2 points going into the fourth, and that's when things got good. The Bengals tied the game at 56 after Smith missed a layup. The Bengals' Gordon got the ball with 30 seconds left and drove into the basket, but ran into Savannah Smith. That resulted in a charge call with 1.9 seconds on the clock. That call upset ISU's coach, which resulted in a technical foul call for the ISU bench. This sent sharpshooter Savannah Smith straight to the free throw line, and you guessed it, she easily made both, bringing the score 58-56. Smith went back to the line and made 2 more shots from a late foul and sealed the win for the Bears, 60-56. UNC gets a short break before heading back out on the road to Southern Utah on Thursday. Men's basketball went on the road this week with mixed results. The first stop, Ogden, Utah, to face the Weber State Wildcats. The Bears took the lead early in the first half, but an off night for both freshman Bodie Hume and senior Jordan Davis didn't bode well for the Bears heading into the second half. The Bears lost their 2-point halftime lead, eventually falling 78-64. Following the loss in Utah, the Bears had the weekend to recover before their next game in Pocatello, Idaho. And the Bears came with a fight. The Bears stayed behind the arc, putting up 13 three-pointers, with 4 of them coming from junior Jonah Radabaugh. The Bears took a commanding 15-point lead going into the half and extended that to a 24-point blowout against the Bengals. The Bears left Idaho State with a 77-53 victory as they head back to Greeley to host the Southern Utah Thunderbirds tonight. Later this week, the Bears travel to Northern Arizona University and return to Greeley to host the Montana State Bobcats on Monday. With just 1 meet left in the regular season, the University of Northern Colorado's swim and dive team is in second place in the Western Athletic Conference after dominating the Idaho State Bengals at home Saturday afternoon. With a 182-118 win over Idaho State, the Bears took the lead early in the meet, winning 6 of the first 7 events. Of those first 7 events, Northern Colorado clinched the top 3 spots in both the 50 free and 200 butterfly. Northern Colorado's Kaylee Peterson and Maddie Moore racked up the points for the Bears as the 2 finished first in multiple events. Peterson dominated the 200 fly and 200 individual medley with times of 2:09.25 and 2:13.17 respectively. Meanwhile, Moore won the 100 backstroke and 100 freestyle with times of 58.15 and 52.81 respectively. 6 other Bears earned individual wins, including Holly Johnson, Leilani Herrera, Emily Hamill, Petra Kiss, Rose Saya, and Morgan King. On the diving platform, Celeste Long finished 3rd in the 1 meter and Allison Wood finished 4th in the 3 meter with scores of 2:59.05 and 2:53 respectively. Northern Colorado competes in their final meet before the WAC Championship at Colorado State on February 1st at 4 p.m. The WAC Championships are in Houston, Texas once again this year from February 27th through March 2nd. A trip to California in the winter, always nice. A winning trip to California for a UNC team, even better. UNC's wrestling team did both, making a trip to California a victorious. After an impressive opening win by Rico Montoya, the Bears didn't look back. UNC won 6 bouts on Friday night to win the duel 28-13. After the Cal Poly duel, the Bears squared off with CSU Bakersfield on Sunday afternoon. Sunday's duel didn't start as strong as the Friday night duel for the Bears. It wasn't until the last 2 matches that they rallied back from a 16-11 deficit and claimed the duel victory by a score of 17-16. Jacob Seeley and Robert Winters Jr.'s led the Bears to the comeback with 2 key victories late in the duel. The Bears stay on the road this weekend as they take on Northern Iowa on Friday and North Dakota State on Sunday. UNC hockey sits second in the HCHA Division II Western region after dominating in the 4-day Big Mountain Classic at home this weekend. The team went 3-0-1 in the showcase, defeating Grand Canyon, Washington, and Dakota College while tying Utah State. Usual suspects Cameron Taggart and Colin Schulmelka racked up the points for the Bears over the weekend, scoring 4 and 5 goals respectively. Taggart also recorded his 100th career goal as a Bear Saturday night against Utah State in the second period. Senior Brian Brink scored the game-winning shootout goal for the Bears to come out on top. But according to HCHA regulations, the game ended in overtime with a 4-4 tie. Schulmelka had a hat trick, Tyler Weber had 5 total points, and third-string goalie Colin Lubert had his first career shutout as a Bear. With the regular season wrapping up for the Bears, the team is in position to secure a spot for Nationals for the second year in a row. After the weekend, the Bears moved to 22-3-3 on the season. UNC will be back on the ice for senior night on February 1st at 8:30 p.m. at the Greeley Ice House. It's nice to start the National Hockey League It's nice to start the National Hockey League season as the team to watch. The Colorado Avalanche did that. It's even nicer to still be the team to watch halfway through the season. Unfortunately, the Avalanche didn't do that. The Avs finished December going 4-10, and since 2019 started, the Avs have only won 3 of 10 games. Out. Although the team hasn't played their best hockey, the Avalanche's first line in Nathan MacKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog, and Mikko Rantanen continue to contribute their best every game. Rantanen is still playing at a high level. He's tied for second in the league in offensive points. And MacKinnon isn't far behind. He's tied for 5th. Landeskog and MacKinnon both remain in the top 10 in offensive goals scored. Last night, the Avs hosted the Minnesota Wild in what was their last matchup before the All-Star break. And just like the rest of 2019, the Avs faced another loss. The Wild came into Colorado ready for the divisional matchup. Although the Avs got on the board first, the Wild tallied one right after. Going into the second period, the two were tied at 2. But the Wild didn't let up as they scored in the 2 remaining periods. The Wild left Colorado winning 5-2. The Avs get a break going into the All-Star game, but that doesn't mean the whole team gets a break. MacKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen will represent the Colorado Avalanche at the All-Star games this week. On the other hand, Denver's basketball team bears watching halfway through the season. The Denver Nuggets went 8-4 in December. Not only have the Nuggets had a winning record for each month this season, they've given the fans what they've wanted to see since Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups. That's a winning team. The Nuggets spent half of November and the entire month of December as the #1 team in the Western Conference. The young stars produce offensive and defensive energy for the Nuggets, and that makes a big difference. Nikola Jokic helps get the Nuggets' attention by leaving everything out on the court. The big Serbian is on a major tear, putting up double-doubles and triple-doubles every game. And Jamal Murray continues electrifying both the Nuggets and the fans. The young Canadian guard has been the player the team looks to for exciting plays in the clutch. But the recent success isn't just coming from those two. The bench comes out every night helping the starters. And with recent success, the Nuggets coach Mike Malone is a Premier Coach of the Year candidate. The Nuggets visited the Utah Jazz last night. After big man Mason Plumlee got tossed early in the first quarter, the Nuggets had to play small ball for the rest of the night. The Nuggets kept the Jazz on their toes all night. And although the Nuggets couldn't get anything going from beyond the arc inside the game, was what kept them in the game. But that wasn't enough. The Jazz beat the Nuggets 114-108 in Utah. And tomorrow night, the Nuggets welcome the Phoenix Suns to town.
Thanks, Courtney. We always appreciate her reports on all of the sports going on. It's a great time to be a basketball fan here in Colorado right now. You got the Nuggets rolling. Both UNC teams are kicking butt right now.
Girls and the boys out there doing their thing for UNC.
It's always a great time for basketball fans.
Yeah. Remember, Bear News is your on-campus source for all things UNC.
Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned every week as we bring Bear News to you every Thursday. We'll see you next week.